Hey, it's it's been a while, huh? Hey, how you been? How you doing? You doing all right? Me too. Uh, sorry, sorry I haven't been around. It's been, I think, a little over 4 years since I last did a video, and I've seen more than a few comments asking where I am, and a couple of comments, like a couple of people actually concerned that worried that something had happened to me. Um, because of that and some other stuff that'll become pretty clear pretty quick in this video, I wanted to just hop on, share where I've been, and share what Jam and I have been up to in these last few years. Um, this video is going to be me talking mostly. I've got some notes here about what I'm going to kind of talk about, but just to keep things interesting, I will have some games on here interspersed. But for the most part, if you want to just kind of tab over, listen, you're good. It's going to be pretty straightforward, just kind of an update with a lot of stuff. For anybody who just wants a short answer, Jam, my wonderful wife, by the way, I'm married now, and I started our own tabletop RPG design and publishing company back in 2020, which, hell of a time to start that, right? And we've really been focused on bringing our projects to life since then. It's been a pretty huge shift. We made a bunch of really cool games so far, and even if you're not familiar with TTRPGs, I do think that you should check out the stuff that we've been doing at DINOBERRYPRESS.com. We've got a lot of really cool projects, and if you like any of the stuff that I did here before, I think you'll like the stuff that we've been making. Now, for those of you who want like the details, the rest of this video is for you. I want to start by talking about Indie Bytes itself. In truth, I really haven't stopped thinking about this channel, this project, and the work that I've made here since I stopped. I love pretty much everything that I've ever uploaded here, and I'm really proud of what I was able to do with Indie Bytes as an idea, as a project, as an approach to game analysis. And I really, really want to find a way to keep doing that work in some way, but whether that's in the form of more videos, a zine, or something else, I'm genuinely not sure, and I've been trying to figure this out for a while. Doing the work here on this channel was really foundational to my game design brain, and much of what I do now is really thanks to the thinking muscles that I was able to grow by doing this channel, by analyzing games here and learning to think about things in different ways. Every single thing that I learned making these videos on this channel is getting put into the tabletop games that I design now. But here's the thing. I need to enjoy making what I make. I spent years doing this channel, and it got to a point where I treated it like work, and nothing really came of it, I know there are a lot of you here who like the stuff I make, and genuinely that means so much to me. But truly, I was getting diminishing returns, for lack of a better way to put it, on these videos. More effort I put into something, the more it sucked when it didn't do numbers, and I got into this spiral of things becoming less and less fun, like running on a treadmill, not going anywhere, and it's not fun, and my legs just hurt when I'm done. I'm sure if you watch videos on the internet, if you have creators that you follow, then you've definitely heard this before. But making videos like this is really hard. It's difficult, it's challenging, it takes time, it takes hours, and I have less and less of that now. I can clearly remember so many points when I had an absolutely awful time trying to force a video out for one reason or another. And anytime I was doing something out of obligation, it was just difficult. And so many of those times when I just couldn't let myself sit back and have fun with the game because I needed to turn it into content. I needed to have something to put here. It's a difficult spiral, and it's very easy to get into that trap. Nowadays, I'm really, really happy to say this, that there are just so many platforms for indie games. Itch.io has exploded. There's a bunch more channels doing what I used to do here. There's all sorts of people on TikTok and Reels that are like doing the damn work and really making it easy for people to find games. And there's so much more support for them. It's just, compared to back when I started this, it's much easier for smaller devs to get themselves some kind of spotlight. You know, back then, niche games from small teams just were not as visible or sought out as they are today. I really enjoyed that hunt for cool stuff, and I found a lot of purpose in it, but it did also end up burning me out. That's just a fact. Call it a part of the painful cycle of capitalism turning hobbies into hustles, or whatever else you want to call it. The point is, I fell into that cycle, and it became something I had to force myself to do. I lost the joy in making the videos. When I realized that I had this new avenue for creativity through game design, and that it had the potential to support us and help us in a material way, which we hate to admit it, but like that's important, while still being fun and rewarding, I knew it was something I had to shift my focus to. There really wasn't another choice. That's when we prepped and ran our first Kickstarter for Gun & Slinger, which, hang on, I should have done this earlier. I made these. We made these. I'm just gonna, don't mind me. I should have done this earlier. It's fine. It's fine. It's just, I'll maybe cut this out. I won't. We've made a lot of stuff. We got a lot of books here. A lot of books here that we have made, and this does not include the digital stuff that we've done. Oh, hi, puppy. But my point is, we prepped and ran our first Kickstarter for Gun & Slinger, which is the whole reason we're doing this thing today. It did ridiculously well, and it validated my decision to start doing this kind of work. Which brings us to the new stuff. Shortly before my last video upload is when I actually started designing these tabletop games. For anyone who's not familiar, TTRPGs, this is stuff like Dungeons and Dragons. You fill out character sheets, you tell stories with your friends, and sometimes you roll a handful of dice to see what happens. I've played these things for a huge part of my life, but I only learned about the massive world of indie TTRPGs back in like 2019, and it blew my mind. I started designing stuff left and right. I started reading a bunch of them. I started designing games. I was making a lot of weird little projects and just kind of pumping them out on itch back to back. And eventually, I had the idea for Gun & Slinger. This game where one player is a wandering gunslinger and the other is their sentient magical gun, and the whole thing is played using Go Fish to, see how it happens. Instead of dice, you're using playing cards and you're going, hey, you got any fives? And your friend's going, nope, sorry. And then you fail a check or whatever. That's not how it works. I digress. After a bunch of designing, playtesting, and of course, encouragement from Jam, I ran the Kickstarter and we made 5 times what our goal was. I remember being in the Costco checkout line and getting the notification on my phone that we had funded and having to just like sit in the car and process that. Like, I got to print this and I found out at Costco. They can use that as a marketing slogan if they want. We got to add a whole bunch of expansions. We got to have a whole bunch of just incredible art in here. We got to have a whole bunch of incredible art, a whole bunch of expansions, and it was genuinely like a life-changing moment for me. And this little book, this little sucker right here, went on to win multiple Game of the Year awards, Best Rules awards, Upcoming Designer awards, stuff like that. Like, it was real when this released. This project made it really clear to me that this is something I can do. This is something that like I can use. This is a creative outlet that can have a real positive effect on our lives. And honestly, founding DINOBERRY Press, our design and publishing company, did change our lives. I've been writing games and bringing projects to life since then, including publishing work by other creators, like Hark Says the Frog Matches by Sin Posadas. We worked together and got to bring out this cute, weird frog dungeon. And I love it. It's incredible. We've worked with so many people to make so many games, and it's all because of Gunslinger. Jam actually ended up completely shifting her career from animal care to start doing layout, art, and game design full time. She has designed Motel Spooky 9, a solo journaling game about, having some cute connections with monsters, and Dino Car, which is a game about making a big art map as dinosaurs driving cars. We're in it. Not even to mention Buttonhead, which, funnily enough, is a hack of Gunslinger where you play as two halves of a centaur. It's a lot. And it's incredible. And it was clear that this is real. All these books are real. After my after party video released, the gears completely shifted. I was still trying to figure out how to make videos work for me, but nothing really felt right, so nothing got finished, and eventually I just stopped trying to make them all together. Instead, I chose to lean into tabletop game design as hard as I could, still having to have a day job, of course. And since then, like I said, we've released a bunch of games. I didn't even mention Kitchen Nightmares, Just a Car, or You're in Space, and Everything's Fucked. I'm having trouble fitting these on frame. I feel so silly. It's a lot. It's a lot. This is not even everything that we've done. Truly, there's so much. And that leads us to right now. As I'm recording this, Jam is working on our next project, getting it through layout, a game called Little Wolves, which is a game that she's the lead on, about being shape-shifting werewolves in an enchanted forest of folk tales and fae queens. It's our biggest project yet. It's a really challenging one, but it's coming together well. So why am I here right now, 4 years out of the blue, walking in like I never left? Why am I making this video? Like I said, there have been more than a few comments asking where I've been, and some of you have been worried about my well-being. So I did kind of want to just show up and say, hey, I'm alive, I'm good, thank you so much for worrying about me, and thank you for the continued support on the channel while I have been absent. And I wanted to let you know what I've been up to, what we've been up to, and point you in the direction of where you can support the work we're doing at DINOBERRY Press. There's a URL for you. And honestly, I kind of wanted to just see if I could have fun making a video again. I'm writing and producing this right now, duh, so the jury's still out, but if I enjoy this, I do have an actual essay about Among Trees I wrote recently that could pretty easily be turned into a video, and I'm really proud of that. And if it's something y'all are interested in, and I have fun doing this right here and going through the whole editing process, then I'll drop it. And I literally had an idea on the way home for another piece about Pacific Drive, which lives in my head rent-free. I love that game. And that's really it. That's everything I wanted to talk about. You should definitely check out our stuff. Like I said, there's so much of it, right? And there's more than what I talked about here. And you should check out DINOBERRY Studio. It's a YouTube channel that Jam kicked off, and you should check out what she's working on over there. It's just another way to support the things that we're doing now. And, if you like what you see, that is awesome. And we appreciate all of the support. And again, even if you don't know anything about TTRPGs, I think if you liked what I did here on Indie Bytes, you will like what we are doing with these games. I can't promise that I'm going to be doing videos regularly, but I can promise that I am absolutely not done with Indie Bytes. It's just a matter of figuring out, it's just a matter of figuring out what works for me. I really hope that y'all are doing okay. I know everything is absolutely ridiculous everywhere for everybody, but stay safe out there, and thanks for the support. Oh, we have a dog. Ripley, come here. Come on, get up. The one time. Oh my God. We have a dog now. We've had her for a while. That's it though. Bye. Who's your girl? Who's your girl? Hey, just as a heads up, between the time I recorded and edited most of this video and now, we actually launched a Patreon for the stuff that we're doing in DINOBERRY Press. You can directly support the work that we do and the work that Jam does with her monthly dungeons and her YouTube channel, which again, you should definitely go check out. Just head over to patreon.com/DINOBERRYPress. You can also find some videos about this on @DINOBERRYPress here on YouTube. So go check us out, tell your friends, and yeah, that's it. Happy New Year. Bye.